So what do you think of the story, Don, that S.A. Miller of our newspaper broke about people taking liberties with our laptops, with our computers? As we come back into the United States, the border authorities, the customs agents, looking at our hard drives just on a whim, seeing if we've got, if there's any indication that we're terrorists or pornographers or whatever. Is this a terrible erosion of privacy and freedom, or is it a necessary tool in the new war on whatever, war on terrorism, war on pornography, war on everything?
Well, Senator Russ Feingold, Democrat of Wisconsin, is making much of this, and so is Senator Leahy of Vermont. But no, this is the U.S. Customs and Border Protection Agency. They have 1 million people come through these border entries, and they have to look at just a small number of them, and some of them having to do with their own suspicions or inferences or some tips. They do look at some laptops, and this is perfectly appropriate under the law. There have been a lot of complaints from business people and others, travelers coming into this country. They themselves say overwhelmingly the number of laptops they've searched have been people who are from the Middle East or Middle Eastern, and they have found jihadist radical propaganda on these laptops, videos of IEDs, improvised explosive devices being exploded, and nuclear information on bombs. So, you know, this is something we have to do under our system to protect our country. And I think
maybe we have to do it, but I lean with Feingold and Leahy. Oddly enough, given their extreme liberalism, I wonder. James Madison, who I know you may have been sick that week, but he was the 4th president of the United States.
So I've heard.
Yes. And he said something that I think is profoundly relevant to this situation. He said, if tyranny and oppression come to this land, it will be in the guise of fighting a foreign enemy. And I think that's what we face with FISA and other incursions into freedom of expression and association in the name of fighting a unnamed enemy of this war on terror. It scares me. It is the way that democracy is eroded, and I would like to see you unite with me and others in opposing this sort of thing.
Well, I tend to agree with the Deputy Commissioner, Jason Ahern, of the U.S. Customs and Border
Jason
Protection.
Ahern, yes. Well,
yes. It is important to understand that CBP typically encounters well over 1 million travelers every day and is responsible for enforcing over 600 federal laws at the border. He says this agency does not have the resources to conduct searches of every laptop. He said, but when we do conduct a search, it is often premised on facts, circumstances, and inferences which give rise to individualized suspicion, even though the courts have repeatedly confirmed that such individualized suspicion is not required under law. They're doing this to protect our country.
Oh, everybody's doing everything to protect our country.
Well,
that's always the...
It only takes one, as Bush said.
Only
takes one.
That's right.
To kill.
You know, if we had a total police state, there would be no problem. That's where that goes. That's where that argument goes. I thought you were going to use the argument that, look, do you have any objection to the searching of suitcases when you come back into the United States? And do you? I don't. I mean, I can understand why government officials of the United States check my suitcases to see that I'm not bringing contraband in to the United States. It's annoying but understandable. But there's a quantitative and qualitative difference between checking to see that there's no marijuana or heroin or stolen artifacts from Egypt, say, and the intellectual content of my laptop hard drive, and that kind of privacy is so important to protect as Americans. This is what this country is all about, and not to see that I don't get it.
Well, I do, because what they have found on a lot of these laptops they have looked at, this is information that has led to the arrest of people who are terrorists.
Well, I don't know that they've ever said that. I don't think the article.
Yeah, no, it has.
What they have found,
it has led to arrest.
People who have actually had pornography on their hard drives.
Mr. Miller's article says this has helped keep terrorist suspects from entering the country.
Well, sure, the authorities will always say it'll help.
I think that they're doing it sensitively, and I think appropriately. And until they find out otherwise, I think this is a practice that we need to protect our country.
I think we're on a slippery slope, and we better realize it. So you and I thoroughly disagree on this. Fair to say?
I would say it's fair to say that.
Okay. Well, we want to be fair.
Okay.
All right.